In its 2022 Technology Pioneers list, the World Economic Forum WEF named 6 African startups companies shaping industries from EduTech to Fintech to e-commerce to AgriTech and many more. Tech giants such as Amazon, Google, Facebook, IBM, and Microsoft, including Chinese mobile phone company Huawei Technologies, have already seen the potential and are investing in Africa. So what's driving this innovation? For more insight, Africa 54 technology correspondent Paul Ndiho spoke to Nii Simmonds, a tech entrepreneur, business analyst based here in Washington, D.C.
Welcome to Africa 54.
Paul, thanks for having me here. It's great to be with you.
You've been a part of this greater network, the Africa Diaspora Network, where you are trying to literally take advanced solutions or tech solutions to Africa. What is it that you've been able to do up to this point?
When I was at the World Bank Group, I created the World Bank's African Diaspora Program, and it was a program focused on using global African diaspora professionals as a force multiplier to support provide technical assistance, mentorship for innovative solutions. Right? Yes, a lot of it was focused on tech and AgTech, that sort of thing. Fast forward today, we work with African universities, institutions, innovation centers to focus on deep tech challenges that we are dealing with. Everything from climate adaptation to clean tech to growing more food. The continent now is 1.4 billion people. As depending on who you talk to, some people say in less than 20, 25 years we're going to have 2 billion, 2.5 billion people. Nevertheless, we need more African solutions, African innovation to solve African challenges.
When you talk about African solutions for the continent, what do you mean exactly?
We have all these Africans who have obtained PhDs from globally renowned institutions, and some of them are back in the continent. They're teaching, but they're also working on deep tech, engineering, science solutions, basic scientific research. These challenges that we have on the continent, the only people that can solve is our own. Right, and African, because of our climate, tropical tolerant climate, dry arid conditions, we can provide solutions to the rest of the world that nobody has ever thought about. And also, there's national security implications too. There are people who are developing innovative solutions that can be used to support cybersecurity. There's some really interesting things going on the continent that can really help solve challenges, but also support our allies.
You brought up a very good point. There are a lot of people who argue that the intellectual balance of power has been shifting in our favor. Now you have a lot of young Africans who come here for grad school, get their PhDs, like you mentioned, go back to Africa and contribute to their own countries. There are those also who say that there is no reason why we shouldn't have the next Bill Gates or Elon Musk or Steve Jobs coming from Africa, because there are opportunities there. You've done a lot of research in that space. What do you see on the ground?
There's innovations everywhere, right? There's a young lady in a village somewhere that's bringing innovation to bear to solve a challenge. There's a young kid somewhere who is playing with some toy, and they've used what they can in their community to make a small toy. As he or she grows up, how do we get him or her to come up with their own version of the African EV, automotive or vehicle transport?
When I've talked to entrepreneurs on the continent, people who are in that space, they keep talking about, in most cases, it's hard to scale from a small startups because, one, they don't have the resources. Secondly, they're having less investments. People are not investing in their startups, and maybe that has hampered their growth. What role can the diaspora play to sort of like solve that problem for these young startups?
On the continent, mostly in the English-speaking countries, you're seeing more these innovation, entrepreneurial, these entrepreneurial ecosystems, incubators, accelerators. And I would encourage the young people who have these interests and ideas to go on these places to test an idea. You'll find a mentor, you'll find technical assistance.
What do you think is driving innovation?
In Africa, because we have so many challenges, because we lack baseload power, most countries are power deficient. To have an innovation ecosystem, it's very, very important that you have a support system, local support, and in your own diaspora,
Thank you so much for your time, Nii.
Thank you so much, Paul. Appreciate it.
That was Africa 54 technology correspondent Paul Ndiho speaking to Nii Simmonds, a tech entrepreneur, business analyst based here in Washington. And that's our show. Have a good night.